Welcome to Almeria, welcome to PS Magazine, welcome to the launch of KTM's 1390. Yeah, that's right, 1390. That's how big we are now with V-twins, can you believe it? But it's a little bit of a kind of marketing hype, because if you actually look at the capacity, we've gone from 1301 to 1350. So you've actually only got up 49cc, but that has given us a significant boost in power. So we're at 188 bhp in UK terms from 177, and 145 newton meters from 140, or 107 foot-pounds from 103. So it's a significant boost in power and torque as KTM kind of try and catch on to the back of those 200 horsepower bikes, which is the Ducati Street Fighter, the BMW S1000R, and you could also throw in the MV there as well. But I don't think KTM wanted any more peak power because they've got so much torque. This thing has got so much torque, it'll uproot trees. It is pretty incredible how much power this bike's got. We've had 5 to 6 sessions here in Almeria to test both the R and the EVO. The EVO comes with the semi-active suspension, the R comes with the conventional manually adjustable WP suspension. We also had a performance parts bike here with the full accurate Povik pipe on it, which was ear-bleedingly loud, which pushes the horsepower to nearly 200 horsepower and gives it even more torque. First of all, we need to clarify that here at PS, we need to do a group test and we need to hit this bike again. The reason for that is we almost had 3 bikes with 3 different tyres and lots of different settings. We had the full tech pack on this bike, which means you can change the engine braking, the wheelie control, the slide control, the traction, the different minor rows, different throttle maps. There's so many complex situations where you can do it. And personally, I don't like riding a 188 horsepower bike and looking down and trying to do the maps. So it's usually do a session, come in, change the maps, see how I feel, do a session, change the maps. And we do need to hit these bikes again. But the first 2 sessions was just getting used to the bike, getting used to the road tyres because we didn't have race slicks. We had Michelin tyres with no tyre warmers, out of pit lane, and off you go. Instantly, you realise you're on a Super Duke. Instantly, you feel that you've got that massive bang of torque. And here in Almeria, you could just get away with using third. Just use third gear, get through the infield, and then obviously all the way through the gears on the back straight. And then as you get more into the bike, you get more used to riding the track, you can trim those rider aids. And a lot of the rider aids are really specific. You can feel the difference when you just turn the traction from, the slide from 5 to 1. You can feel the difference when you change the height of the wheelie control, because it's no longer on or off. You can actually tell the bike how high you want the wheelie to be, or you can switch the anti-wheelie off completely. By about the second and third session, into the bike, got my own setting, getting the hammer down and really, really enjoying it. Again, we're not on race slicks. These are road-focused tyres. We didn't have tyre warmers, so you soon get towards the limitations of the grip on the rear. But what's really interesting is when the bike starts to move around and you can feel the front and feel the rear definitely coming onto the back straight, you have a one-to-one translation with the chassis. You can feel the chassis telling you what's happening. So usually when a bike the tyre goes off, you increase the rider aids to give you that safety net. But actually with the Super Duke, I left the rider aids pretty minimum, turned off the anti-wheelie altogether so I could just pull some big fat wheelies down the back straight and just enjoyed the feeling of the chassis. And it was something that McWilliams said to me, which I was quite surprised about, because a 1.4, 190 horsepower there or thereabouts V-twin with a tyre going off and no rider aids, sounds like a recipe for disaster. Sounds like a recipe for some Spanish hospital food. But actually, it really showed how manageable and easy, not easy, but how forgiving the chassis was and how much translation it gives to the rider, and thoroughly enjoyed it. The gearing has also changed quite significantly. Before on the Super Duke on fast tracks, where I've ridden the Super Duke before, is like 5th into 6th and 4th into 5th was quite slow. There was like a big step. It was like bo bo bo. Where now on the back straight it's like ba ba ba. You can feel it's punch punch punch. There's no longer that tallness in the higher gears, which I assume will cut down to a faster lap because you've got more power, better handling, superb rider aids. And when we got the opportunity to test the accessories bike on slicks with a full pipe, what a difference. When you get the slicks, you have more grip, you have more corner, you can carry the brake deeper into the corner, you can get on the power earlier. It really showed what this bike is capable of, which is hugely impressive. As I say, it's going to be interesting when we hit this bike again, when we try it with slick tyres and when we try it against the competition. The competition for me is Ducati Street Fighter, the BMW, arguably the MV and the Aprilia Tuono. When I've done group tests before, the KTM has always been an excellent handling package, but bizarrely when you compare it to the 200 horsepower bikes, it was just lacking a little, especially in 4th, 5th and 6th. But now it's got so much drive, I think it's going to be right on the heels. It might not have that figure of 200 horsepower that you can tell your mates in the pub, but the torque and the drive and the usability. And excellent rider aids. You've got to mention the rider aids, because for me, I can turn them down and have some fun, but other riders I've spoke to have enjoyed actually changing the throttle mapping, using street throttle rather than track throttle, adding TC, adding anti-wheelie. At the end of the day, it's 190 horsepower, 1.4 V twin, which those words itself sounds absolutely crazy. But it's kind of like many bikes for many people. Thoroughly enjoyed riding the bike today. It'll be interesting also when we get to ride it on the road, because the Super Duke has always been a brilliant road bike and then maybe lacked a little bit on track. But now I think it's a little bit more refined. It's definitely got loads of punch, probably the biggest punch in this category. And definitely I like the looks personally. It's a bit Marmite. Some people like the headlights, some people don't. But as I say, I think KTM have moved up a notch. They've made it friendlier, more usable, which is strange when you consider it's got more power and more oomph and more torque. The rider aids are more refined. It's just kind of fine lines in little areas and improved it in little areas, which I think is going to make a big difference on track. But looking forward to the group test. Hopefully the guys at PS Magazine will get us together and we can have some really good fun. I think on a short track where you need punch, like here in Almeria, where you're using third for the whole of the infield, it's going to be right on the heels of anything with more than 200 horsepower. And because of that short gearing and that extra drive, I think it's going to be right on the back wheel of them also when you get onto a fast track down the straight. So it's going to be a really, really interesting comparison test. And it's also worth mentioning that this is under 20 grand. Even when you fit the tech pack with all the rider aids, it's just over 20,000, I think just under £21,000, which makes it quite good value for money if a £20,000 naked bike could ever be described as good value for money. But when you compare it to the Ducati and the BMW, you're getting a lot of bike for your money. That's it from Almeria. Thanks KTM for the invite. Thanks PS for asking me to come on board. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks to McWilliams for showing me a few lines. Shame we didn't get some more laps. Maybe next time we'll have a couple more days where we can put some slicks on and really push the limits. But yeah, let's look forward to the group test. All right, let's go for a blast of Almeria. Oh no, Neves is in front. I'll give him a bit of braver. So yeah, we've got a lot more. Well, it's not actually, it's about 50cc more, but it's still the big baby. I got high on wheelie control, sport throttle, very little traction. Double check. So much torque, it's almost comical. The tyres have done 4 sessions, so they do move around a little bit. End of the last session was proper funny, almost like riding on wets towards the end. But it'll warm up quickly, what it would do is bloody hot. Oh, little slide there. Try and get everything up to temp and then we can hit it on the next lap. So it's 60% new bike from KTM. Slight difference to the chassis, but not a huge amount. The big is the torque, so we've got 10 horsepower more. Oh, 5 newtons more of torque. Improved sophistication on the rider aids. We've gone to Michelin rubber that's lighter, apparently. We've got new headlight, that's about 700 grams lighter because it's towards the top of the bike. It saves on weight. Right, bit of heat in the tyres now. Third gear. Normally that'd be second, but this will just pull third. Lovely. That's third, I like this. Oh, easy Tiger. Fourth. Where's this guy going? Oh, Jesus. Don't think he knows. Oh, just up underneath him. Give him a wave. Oh, slide, 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 slide. Yeah, the tyres have had their day, I think is the best terminology. But we've got the cord, everything is lean sensitive as you'd expect, so you can rely on it a bit. Oh, lovely slide. Just give it a big handful and oh, yes. Oh, I can feel it sliding there. Right, let's try and get a good exit. Oh, I went too tight, you dickhead. Oh, what a manoeuvre! How much fun is this? It's just effortless. I think that's the best description. Oh, again, it's just it's just sliding. For the feel, you got to have feel in the bike to be able to. I mean, I'm not McWilliams. You've got to have a bit of... Oh, come on, get in the turn. And it is got... lovely drive. Again, there, just powered in.